Today on Karamo.
I feel like I wasn't worthy of love.
You are lovable, and you do not deserve to chase people.
A 34-year-old virgin.
I want a man to really care for me.
She says her boyfriend is verbally abusive.
He was mad and he punched me.
Hold on.
Yeah. He slams the door, drives off.
A few feet, that's all I ask.
And leaves me there.
Is this the last straw for this couple? Here's the truth bomb of the situation. Plus,
punched me in my face.
one vacation has ruined this friendship.
You punched me in my face.
I punched you. You need a
You
punch in your
punched
mouth.
me in my face.
The girl's trip from hell. She was wrong for telling your business, and you was wrong for punching her face. Can these two women
I apologize.
make amends?
Life is too short.
All right, welcome to the show, everyone. This is an hour you do not want to miss. So let's get started. Rebekka is a 34-year-old virgin living in a toxic world. She doesn't trust her boyfriend, Jake, and needs my help. So come on, everybody, please help welcome Rebekka to the show. Hi, Rebekka.
Hi.
How are you doing? Nice
I'm
to
just
meet
proud of
you.
you.
Oh, thank you. Rebekka, so girl, tell me about this toxic relationship you are in.
So basically, we met at the gym, and I was like, he's so cute. Like, I just want to get to know him.
Yeah.
But we started going out, and he started showing signs of being super toxic. You know, he punched the top of the car. He was mad, and he punched a cup of soda and exploded in the car.
That sounds more like abusive.
Yeah, and I just thought he was the nicest guy because he was telling me he was. You know, he was like, oh, you're so beautiful. He was crying. He's like, I'm so glad I met you.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this guy really likes me.
But
And
if it's toxic, why stay?
honestly,
Because these are your words. You're saying it's toxic, so just why stay?
I love him a lot. We have good times. When we're good, we're really, really, really good. And we get along, you know?
Okay, y'all a cute couple. Y'all a cute couple. So what happens when you fight then?
He has called me a bitch before. Yeah, he's called me an idiot. He's like, you're and honestly, most people see him and they're like, he's so composed.
Yeah.
He's so sweet, you know?
Sometimes in relationships, people will
Yeah.
mask what they want you to see. And you'll be in a whole relationship where people are being emotionally or physically abusive. And I haven't heard his side of the story, so I don't want to judge yet. But how long have you two been together?
We've been together for over a year, and we've broken up
So
5-6 times.
So over a year.
Yeah.
Do you two live together right now?
It's a situation. He lives in his car, kind of.
Oh.
And sometimes he stays with me, but I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's a red flag and stuff. But my mom is not cool with it. But we just have such a bond.
So why are you cool with it? I'm asking.
I was not okay with it. Okay. In the beginning, I was like, are you gonna look for a place? At one point though, I was actually sleeping in the car with him. Yeah.
Why you have an apartment?
When you like someone, you feel safer around them.
How many times did you say you broke it up?
5-6 times.
What makes you go back?
I will be like, hey, I want to see you, or he'll be like, I want to see you. We'll get back together, you know. So
you're saving yourself for marriage?
Yes.
Why was that a choice you wanted to make?
I grew up Christian, and it was taught in church. But for me, it's more of honestly, I have abandonment issues because my dad wasn't in my life. And to me, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna be that intimate with a guy, I want to be married. I want him to stay in my life forever.
And I understand now the abandonment issues.
Yes.
But what are you expecting from a man you date?
Honestly, I want him to treat me nice. I want him to say, you're beautiful, I love you, I care about you. I want him to say how he feels, because, I didn't really get that from my dad, you know? I didn't get that from a father figure, so, I want a man to really, care for me, you know?
Yeah, I understand.
And he has said those things, but then other times he's really angry, and then he just yells at me.
Yeah. I hear you.
And
here you go.
I didn't think I would cry this fast.
No, it's okay.
I look in the mirror sometimes and I feel like I have a double chin and I feel bad about myself.
You start to pick yourself apart immediately.
Yeah.
Why do you think you two have such a hard time getting along?
I feel like he doesn't say how he feels. Don't just disappear. I mean, I remember one time he started swerving because he was mad at me. And I got out the car because I didn't want to fight in the car. And he slams the door, drives off, and leaves me there.
So are you worried that Jake is having sex with other women?
Sometimes, like, I have fear because I'm waiting till marriage. He has told me that, oh, I want to have sex.
Yeah.
But these were my boundaries, so, you know.
Yeah. Do you two engage in anything other than sex? Do you have other, like...
Yeah, intimacy, yes.
Yes, okay,
yes,
great.
yes,
Okay, just
yeah.
one there to check. All right, so
Yeah.
listen. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
I love your vulnerability and how much you've been open, but there is a lot of toxic behavior here from your
Yeah,
own
I
words,
know.
and I'm hearing it as well. But this is just one side of the story. We need
Yeah.
to hear the other side of the story.
Okay.
So everyone, I think it's time now to meet Jake, Rebekka's boyfriend. So let's join Jake to the show. Jake, come on out. Come on, take a seat. How are you doing, man? Good to meet you.
Good, how are you?
Yes, good. So I want you to describe your relationship because we heard one side, and now it's time to hear your side.
Right, well, you were out here saying a lot of things about what I do. I didn't hear a lot about the things that you do to set me off, the things that you really do that push me over the edge, like how you scream at
But
me,
it's
how you
still
chase
not
after me.
okay. Like,
Yeah, but like all those times when, you know, I really want to step back and get space and think about things, and then you just want to confront it head on like that, you're not giving me that time I need to recuperate and think about what's going on.
So Jake, you describe your relationship as intensely toxic.
Right.
Wow. That's a lot for you to say my relationship is intensely toxic and still stay in it. Why do you think it's intensely toxic?
Really just the frequency of the fights, you know, like Rebekka and I have been together for like on and off for a year and a half, and I can't even count the number of fights we've been in. And
we
I
do
just don't
fight
think
a
it's
lot.
healthy.
Well, what are you fighting about exactly? Because
I'll
I
be
still
trying
not
to-
clarity.
I'll be trying to get away from her. She wants to, you know, she'll be her over something, upset over something, and I'll say like, I need to take a step back from this, but she wants to do it like right then and there.
Jake, so you really feel like Rebekka doesn't give you space?
I feel like sometimes I say I need space and she kind of disregards it.
You
No,
live in
you're
your
like-
car, right?
Yeah.
What is hindering you from being able to find an apartment?
Right now I just don't want to. The rents are super high, and I just want to save money.
Yeah, so you're doing this to save money?
Yeah.
Got it, okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're devalued in this relationship?
Well, sometimes I just feel overwhelmed.
She says her boyfriend is verbally abusive. Hold on.
Yeah.
But after our audience sounds off,
That would be the end of it, period.
make sure you don't miss what happens.
I feel like I wasn't worthy of love.
You are lovable, and you do not deserve to chase people.
He started showing signs of being super toxic. So he has called me a before. I want him to say like, you're beautiful, I love you.
Do you feel like you're devalued in this relationship?
Well, sometimes I just feel overwhelmed.
How do you feel about Rebekka being a virgin?
I think that's cool. That's hard to find these days, and you know, she's a woman with values, and I'm not saying other girls don't have values, but she has her values and she sticks to it, and I share some of that, so I think it's pretty cool.
So, are there other women?
No, there's no other woman.
There's no other women.
There's no other woman but her.
Okay.
Which is why, you know, with the distrust sometimes, and she doesn't do it that much, but, you know, she's been on me about it before, like, oh, are you thinking about other girls? Lately, actually recently, kind of a lot, but, you know, I tell her, like, you know, you're the one I care about, and I'm not looking for other girls.
Got it. The question is, we asked to unlock your phone, and what was your response?
I don't think it's necessary because, you know, she knows, like, I would show her my phone too. Like, if you want to see it, if you want to see who I'm messaging or anything like that, I'd show it to her.
A lot of this could be settled by getting to the point and the truth of it all. So I think if you want to get to the crust of it for you to have clarity, I mean, would you allow me to unlock your phone?
I mean, sure, if you want to.
Yes. How do you feel about me unlocking the phone?
I mean, I don't think it's necessary, but
Why don't you think it's necessary? Is it because you're scared of what you might find?
no. Well, I feel like I have mistrust, but I don't think he's sleeping with people.
She's not necessarily accusing me of sleeping with anybody.
Okay.
I have more so like fear that someone will seduce him.
Listen, I'm only here to help. So if you don't feel comfortable with unlocking the phone, I won't unlock the phone. I was giving you that option because you clearly have said mistrust issues. I do understand your self-esteem issues, and I'm seeing it in play right now. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
So I think it's time that we get into comments from our audience, right? Y'all got something to say on the situation? All right, here we go. All right, so what is your point of view on all this?
Okay, so first of all, I don't understand why you let any man call you out your name. Because I know if I was in a relationship and a man called me a bitch, that would be the end of it, period.
So why do you accept him calling you out of your name?
I don't like it. Like, it's like I told him, like, if you call me that one more time, I'm gonna break up with you. And the thing is, the love comes back.
Why do you think that it's okay to be verbally abusive?
For me, I heard a lot of toxic language growing up, and it kind of just slips out.
But
I feel like
also
I'm pushed
heard
into a corner, and I have to, like, you know, it just comes out.
Do you know it's wrong?
I do know it's wrong.
Okay, then. So
Are you
it's not
sure?
that it's just learned behavior. It's a conscious decision.
It's almost like a subconscious thing because
No,
I
it's
heard so
conscious,
much of
'cause
that.
I just asked you if you know it's wrong.
I do know it's
So
wrong.
it's not subconscious. Subconscious would mean I don't know if it's right or wrong, and it's slipping out.
I know
You're
it's
consciously
not
making a decision.
acceptable.
Okay.
You seem like you're annoying the hell out of Jake. So why are you mad when he throws you out of the car when he's clearly telling you that he needs his space?
Well, a lot of times when he does say get out, it's not out of a loving place to me because sometimes we're not done talking and I'm about to cry, like I'm upset, right? A
But
lot
why
of
won't
times,
you just give me a little bit of time? Like,
like
why don't you
I'm
just get
so
out?
emotional, I want to cry so bad in that moment that when you say get out, it's like maybe you should get out of that car and go for a walk.
But it's my
because-
car. It's my car, though.
I know, but it's like you're not treating me like a human being. You're treating me like a robot. Like you don't talk to like a girlfriend like that.
But
That's
you're
not how
asking.
it
But
starts,
in
though.
all sincerity, he lives in his car. It's actually he's asking you to leave his home, and
I'm
so
really
there's
asking,
a
like, can
there's a
you step
blurred
out for a
boundary
little bit?
here that has to be acknowledged because it's not like you're just driving and he's saying get out of my car. It's like he's saying this is the only space I have in this world, and so I'm asking you to leave
Exactly.
my only space.
But
Can you see that though?
No, I understand that. And like I do totally understand that. But I think I'm getting to a point where I want him to express with words how he's feeling instead of just avoiding.
I'm going to come back to the stage because I want to actually get into your unhealthy behaviors that I have noticed. So, Jake, you're cursing and calling Rebekka names. You just acknowledge that you understand that that's an unhealthy behavior. You've kicked Rebekka out of your car. You understand it's not just the car and the space, which I get before, but the act of actually trying to say, I'm shutting you out, I'm not going to communicate with you, is what makes that unhealthy. So it's one thing to be able to say, these are the reasons that I need my space right now, but I don't think you're doing that. So the lack of communication makes this relationship really unhealthy. And it keeps you in this spiral because neither of you are talking about what's really going on. And it's also the constant arguments because you're not expressing what you're really feeling. I feel like today I've heard more about what you're feeling when you said to me the word overwhelmed. How often do you tell her that you're overwhelmed?
I do tell her that sometimes. I don't know if I always do it in the most conducive way to like having good communication, but I do try to communicate that.
You didn't learn how to communicate growing up, did you?
I don't think I learned good communication skills growing up.
Okay, yeah. Now, Rebekka, let's take a look at your unhealthy behaviors that we're seeing. Text Jake's 30 times a day. When the producers talked about it when they talked to you that you said you text a lot. Broke up with Jake 6 times a year.
Oh, he did that actually. I don't.
Okay, so then
he's the one
let me
who
switch
always,
back.
Okay.
Went back 6 times a
Oh,
year.
right, yeah.
Because you also have a choice in this as well. Just like I said to Jake earlier, it's a conscious choice. You're making a conscious choice to go back to something where you know you're going to be kicked out of a car, where you know you're going to be called the B word, where you know you're going to be treated a certain way. You're making that conscious choice. We talked about it earlier. We understand this coming from self-esteem issues and abandonment issues, but still, you're making that choice to go back, which is very unhealthy. And you have those separation issues, which is why anytime he says he needs space, you start to freak out. Because space for you means something different than it means for him. Am I right?
I want him to say to me, like, I need space right now, but I love you. Like, I want him to assure me, because sometimes he has blocked me for 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, he doesn't want to be with me.
All right, here's the truth bomb of the situation.
You don't think so?
Oh, I know so. This whole situation, come here, is too much for everyone to handle. How often do you feel like you're not worth it? Make sure you don't miss what happens.
I feel like I wasn't worthy of love.
You are lovable, and you do not deserve to chase people.
When you say get out, it's like maybe you should get out of that car and go for a walk.
But it's my car.
In all sincerity, he lives in his car. It's actually, he's asking you to leave his home.
I want him to express with words how he's feeling instead of just avoiding.
All right, here's the truth bomb of the situation. He is not the man to do that for you. And it does not mean that you can't do it. You're just not in a space right now.
I really want to work on these things, and I really want to make it right. I want us to be able to do this.
She's not the one to do it with. She's not the one to do it with.
You don't think so?
I know so. I know so. This is not the relationship to do that with. You need time to reflect and to grow. You need all of that right now. You're in a space right now where there are so many unhealthy patterns that you learned in your past that you have to figure out how to be able to communicate. You have to be able to reflect with yourself of like why you're in the position you're in right now. Listen, as much as I want to say like, oh, because rent is too much and because, you know, you've had a hard time, there's another reason why you're staying in your car. It's because you're unstable right now. And this instability is the first sign that you should not be in a relationship. With that instability, you need to find time to take time for you to get stable, get your feet planted. And listen, you're a young man. I believe that maybe in 4 years, 5 years, this could be the woman for you. This could be the woman that you want to be with. But right now, I'm going to advise you and tell you that you do not need to be in a relationship. You need to be with yourself. You need to figure out your career. You need to figure out what your home life is going to be. You need to figure out who are you as a man? You're speaking two different languages here. You want stability, you want to be settled, but you're with a man who's still trying to figure out and trying to grow. And the reason you're staying with him is because you're in a space right now where you're scared to be alone. You're scared that his boundaries means that he doesn't want you. You're scared that him saying, I need space, means that you're not worthy. You know what I mean? You make excuses for him because you've been making excuses for people who have abandoned you or abused you your entire life. Right?
Yeah.
And so now you're holding on to anybody who you feel is going to give you the unconditional love. But the thing, sister, is that you got to start working on that unconditional love on yourself. Come here, let me do something with you. Come here. Come on, we'll be back.
A lot of people actually really like me.
How often do you feel like you're not worth it? Make sure you don't miss what happens next.
I feel like I wasn't worthy of love.
You are lovable, and you do not deserve to chase people.
You are the five. Get off my stage.
You're speaking two different languages here. You want stability, you want to be settled, but you're with a man who's still trying to figure out and trying to grow. You make excuses for him because you've been making excuses for people who have abandoned you or abused you your entire life. Come here, let me do something with you. Come here. Come on, we'll be back. I need you to connect with me and remove this, and I know it's hard right now. You're in a pattern and a cycle where because you were abandoned, your self-esteem is being dramatically affected.
I feel like I have to keep trying. You know, I have to keep putting in effort.
Because you feel like if you don't put in an effort, people are going to give up on you.
Yeah. It makes me feel like I'm not worth it, that I'm unlovable, and like, I don't know, Jake has said that before. He's like, he's told me that I'm annoying.
Do you think you're lovable?
Yeah.
You do?
Like, a lot of people actually really enjoy my company, and like a lot of people like me. Like, sometimes I like just want like to find the right person, thinking that that will like fulfill me.
You have to understand that you are loved, that you deserve love and that you are loved. And even if people in the outside world is not gonna give it to you, you deserve it anyway, because you deserve to give it to yourself. I want you to look in this mirror right now. And I want you to say to yourself right now, 3 things that you love about yourself, to yourself.
I love that I'm really funny.
Say, Rebekka, I love that you're funny.
Rebekka, I love that you're funny. Rebekka, I love that you're beautiful. Rebekka, I love... I love that you have a really kind heart and that...
Now, Rebekka, talk to your dad.
I love you, but I'm kind of pissed off that you weren't there for me.
You're not kind of pissed off.
I'm really pissed off. You not being there really hurt my self-esteem, and it made me feel like I wasn't worthy of love.
Now, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna look at this mirror and say, Rebekka, repeat after me. Look at yourself.
Rebekka,
I deserve love.
I deserve love.
You deserve love.
I deserve love.
No more going back to Jake. No more calling the people who have hurt you over and over again. You hear me? Do not give them any more power. The power is now yours. But the only way you're gonna recognize that power is looking yourself in the mirror and reminding yourself you are lovable, you are not annoying, and you do not deserve to chase people. You got it?
Yes.
I don't need to chase any man.
I don't need to chase any man.
These are the things that you have to say to yourself. You have to be specific about the things that you're saying to yourself. You don't deserve to have anybody call you out your name. What is your name?
Rebekka.
Say it.
My name is Rebekka.
Not bitch.
Not bitch.
You got this?
Yeah.
I need you to really start practicing this stuff. I'm serious.
Punched me in my face.
One vacation has ruined this friendship.
You punched me in my face.
I punched you. You need to
You
punch in your
punched
mouth.
me in my face.
The girl's trip from hell. She was wrong for telling your business, and you was wrong for punching her face. Can these 2 women
I apologize.
make amends?
Life is too short.
All right, welcome back, friend. My next guest, Tia, says a drunken fistfight with her best friend, Dijonane, ended their friendship. It's been 4 years since Tia last saw Dijonane, and now she's asking for my help to bring the 2 back together. Everyone, please welcome Tia to the show. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
You look beautiful. Let me get a hug.
Thank you.
You look stunning.
Thank you.
All right, so take me back. What happened between you and Dijonane?
We had planned a girls' trip to Miami, and we had, at the time, Dijonane was homeless, you know, but she was my best friend, so she was supposed to come up with, like, some part of money for her ticket, and I was going to take care of everything else.
Okay.
We also had a mutual male friend there with us at the time of everything, and we kind of got drunk, and I was venting to our mutual friend, and before you knew it, a whole altercation came.
So how did the fight start? Because I hear y'all are there, you're having a good time. You start talking to this guy and telling him what?
Well, I felt like Dijonane was being ungrateful.
Okay.
I felt like she was being ungrateful, you know, like, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for the food, oh, I don't want to eat here, or, oh, why are we going here? Like, you know, like one of those, she's making my time, like, miserable.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be, you know, miserable here.
Got it.
So I feel like he went and told her something else. Like, he heard what I said, added his own twist to it, and before you knew it, me and Dijonane were literally fist fighting. Like, we were arguing.
So how bad was that fight?
The fight was really, really bad, like, really bad. Like, Dijonane, like, she came in, and we were at the pool, and Dijonane came in, me and the mutual friend were there. Dijonane came in, and I could tell that's my friend. You know, we've been friends since we were 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's like a lot, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not like no easy, simple friendship. We've been friends. That's my friend I went through the most things with ever.
Yeah.
And like, you know, that's my friend I grew up with, graduated high school with. We have our own special names for each other, you know, as best friends. Like, that's like what type of deep best friends. But you know, when she like walked in there, I could tell, like I said, I could tell she was angry. So, you know, as I'm trying to get out the pool to ask her, like, what's wrong with her? She started arguing, who the hell are you? Who the hell do you think you are to tell him my business? You know, because I did tell him that he was, you know, she was homeless or whatever. Words were exchanged, and I had told her, like, I don't give a no more about this. Like, straight like that. I don't care about, I said what I said. I don't feel like I was wrong for what I said, you know. The next thing I knew, Dijonane punched me in my face.
So she threw the first punch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she punched me in my face. She's a big woman, I'm a big woman, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, you know, just like punch somebody in their face, like, and just expect them just to be like, oh, let's talk, we're friends. Like, I didn't care at that point. I was already irritated of the whole situation, you know, or whatever. Like, so it just was really frustrating that it went that far.
Yeah, of course it did. So what happened after the fight? She threw a punch. Did you throw a punch back?
Yeah, of course. We got to physically fight, and I was pulling her hair. She was pulling my hair.
Oh my
I was punching her in her face. She was punching me, you know, like.
This all at the pool?
This is all at the pool. You know, then people came in, and they're, you know, of course, are trying to separate me and her and whatever or not.
Yeah.
And after that, I kind of like busted up my knee and stuff during the fight because, like I said, I got out the pool.
Yeah.
So I was like slippery, I'm heavy, falling on my knee.
Yeah.
My lip was busted, like my hair was a total mess, like, so it was just something that I was trying to do good, turn bad quick.
Yeah.
And at that point, I just grabbed, I went back up to the hotel room, packed my stuff, and I left out of there. Like, I didn't care how she was getting home. I knew that I had her plane ticket and all of that on my phone or whatever. I just left because I didn't care anymore.
Yeah, you were mad. So after you left town, what happened? Did y'all try to talk once at all?
No, we haven't spoken or seen each other since that day. And it's been almost 5 years.
Have you reached out to Dijonane?
No, I haven't.
Not once?
No.
So how did y'all meet? You said you were 13, but
yes, we were 13 years old. I think it was like a sleepover at like a mutual friend back, somebody at school.
So is there any ever time, look how sweet y'all are.
Yeah, we were 21 there.
So has anybody ever gotten into y'all relationship before?
No.
No
Nobody's ever gotten into a point where I really felt like I didn't care about my friend or, you know, like, it's just now recently watching us. I've been through some things in life, like I've lost my mom, you know what I mean? Like, I've known she lost her mom, and we still haven't, but in that time of me losing my mom has made me really realize, like, life is short.
Yeah.
You know, I miss those memories, you know what I mean? Looking at those pictures, like, I miss those memories of my friend.
Yeah.
I do, I miss my friend, like, and if she's willing to be able to, like, I know we gotta go through the emotion, you know, I know it's gonna be hit or miss, like, you know, I know there's not a 100% chance that she's gonna wanna be able to rekindle that friendship. And if not, I purposely just want for me, myself, I want the closure to be able to say, hey, I tried to fix my friendship.
Yeah, you tried. Well, listen, hearing this story, hearing that you went from this sweet relationship as little girls to this tumultuous fight to now being unclear of where your future goes, it breaks my heart. But there's always another side to the story. So I think it's important that we welcome Dijonane to the show. Dijonane, come on out. Hey, Dijonane, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for being here. So I want to know what's going through your mind right now, because you haven't seen each other in 4 years.
I feel like a complete fireball right now.
Yes.
I'm angry, I'm upset. I want to know why after all of these years.
So we heard her version of the fight. What's your version of the fight? I want to hear from you what happened.
My hair was pulled out.
You punched me in my face.
I punched you. You need to punch in your mouth.
You punched me in my face.
The girl trip from hell. She was wrong for telling your business, and you was wrong for punching her face. Can these two women...
I apologize.
...make amends?
Life is too short.
You are the five. Get off my stage.
We had planned a girls' trip to Miami, and she was supposed to come up with some part of money for her ticket, and I was gonna take care of everything else.
Okay.
I felt like Dijonane was being ungrateful. We kind of got drunk, and I was venting to our mutual friend, and the next thing I knew, Dijonane punched me in my face.
So she threw the first punch?
Yes.
I feel like a complete fireball right now.
I want to hear from you what happened.
She called me and told me she wanted to go out of town. She knew I didn't have that much money, but she still wanted to go because if she didn't have it, if I had it and she didn't have it, we got each other.
Yeah.
So that's how it was supposed to be. I didn't know that I was going on the whole other side of the town to be talked about like a dog from my best friend of all these years.
I didn't
You did.
I didn't feel
You
like
did. You was
I didn't feel like
talking-
I was talking. And
You were.
I didn't.
Why are you telling my personal
'cause I was
business to
venting.
these people?
'Cause I
You
was
don't
venting.
vent to anybody.
Because I was venting.
Venting and talking with
You're
somebody
right.
is two different things.
You're right.
That's
You're
two
absolute-
totally different
You're absolutely
things.
right. And did I do that in the best way possible? Then no.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. And
No.
I feel like I'm to a point where I can admit when I'm wrong.
Okay. You were very
we both
wrong.
We both but I felt like you were wrong too because you
About
didn't
what?
even
Why
because you
would
didn't
you
give me a
invite
chance.
me?
You didn't give me a chance to explain to you exactly what I was doing. And I just feel like, you know, he was being messy. Like he was maybe jealous of our
was, and you
friendship
fed
or
into
whatever.
it.
And I probably did
You
feed
fed
into
into
it
it.
to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like I can, you know, I can admit that, but I didn't feel like I was wrong. I felt like people are allowed to vent. And whatever
People
he
are
told you
allowed
still
to
to this
vent.
day, I still don't know what he told you.
People
So-
are allowed to vent.
So what did he tell you?
That she was telling him I was homeless, I was out here sleeping with people. We both did the same thing. We was both out here. We was both young, 12 years old, 13 years old, fending for our life. Fending for ourselves, not knowing where we was going to sleep, eat, nothing.
You're right.
Every day. So for you to go tell an outsider that was just like completely crazy to me.
You probably crazy. Okay.
You don't do that.
So
It's
this-
okay to vent.
Yeah.
But you don't just, venting and talking on me is two different things.
So describe how bad the fight was for me.
It was very bad. It was, we were fist fighting. I mean, my hair was pulled out. I had a patch of hair that was pulled out. You know, my face was bruised up.
But you punched me in my face.
I punched you. You need to
You
punch in your
punched
mouth.
me in my
'cause you
face. That's
shouldn't have been
exactly
talking
what I told. After I said I don't give no more, she said, well,
You
she
did.
reached over and don't give about that.
Yes, I did. Because at that point, I was pissed
you
off.
know, like, but I just expected you, you know, like.
Had there
a
been physical
13
violence
year,
before you
no,
all before?
No,
This is my only friend that I've never had a physical altercation with.
Never.
She was my sister. We got, like, my best friend.
Like, I just, you know, like.
So
I just
before
know.
the fight, y'all two were just, it was great. You talked
was
every day.
great.
We were.
Describe
we
what it was
But
like
I'm
before.
trying to, it was awesome. She was my flicky. That's what we call each other. We've been calling each other that since we were kids. So I don't know where we came up with the name at, but that's what we call each other, flicky.
Yeah.
We don't
that
call
is
each other
definitely,
Dijonane and
Tia,
Batia.
we don't do that.
Yeah.
Like that, like we don't. Like, you know, like
So-
she's my flicky, I'm her flicky. Like I don't know how to really explain that to you.
Yeah.
Other than it
Again,
just
it's a
be
bond you all had.
Yeah, like we don't know where it, you know, but like that really, like for my friend to, like, you know, we can argue. You know, people argue all the time. You can say whatever you want to say out your mouth. I can say whatever I want to say out my mouth. For my friend to punch me in my face like that, like. To punch me like that, it threw me off. Like I wasn't expecting it.
There wasn't nothing to talk about.
I wasn't
with
expecting
me,
it, and I,
honestly.
you know,
I
like
just
once it
wanted
was
to
there,
fight.
it was there, and
did.
I felt the same way. Like I wanted, like, you know, once you punch me in my face, like I didn't care about anything
But
after that.
why did I have to be stranded out in a whole nother city where I didn't know nobody? By myself, anything could have happened.
So hold on.
Well,
I
you
want
know
to know,
what we already been through.
what was it like for you two growing up? Because you said a little bit that it was like rough and hard.
It was rough. Like we had to. I've been on my own since I was 12 years old, so I had
Were you
to
on your own
sleep
as
with
well?
men to be able to go to sleep
Yes.
at night, to be able to sleep comfortable,
Yeah.
eat,
Yeah.
shower. You know, we had to do horrible things.
We did.
We were babies.
We were young, you know, we were really
and
young.
she knew where we
Raising
was
ourselves.
at
We
when
raised each
it
other.
happened. So I'm like, why would you be? What did I do to you for you to be telling somebody my heartaches that I've been through?
You know,
That I was been trying to overcome. That still, to this day, bother me, because what I had to do, I was a kid.
Yeah.
So,
you know,
why would you want to hurt me like that? What did I do to you?
Yeah.
What did I do to you that you wanted to
I
hurt
just
me
felt
like that?
She was wrong for telling your business, and you was wrong for punching her face. Can these two women
I apologize.
make amends?
Life is too short.
I didn't know that I was going to be talked about like a dog.
I can admit when I'm wrong.
You were very wrong.
We both, but I felt like you were wrong too.
What did I do to you for you to be telling somebody my heartaches that I've been through that still to this day bother me? Because what I had to do, I was a kid. Yeah. What did I do to you that you wanted to hurt me like that?
I felt like, you know, you were just doing a lot of complaining.
I was.
We're eating here. I don't want to eat here. Why do this? We need to get a different. Like, I just felt like you were complaining about everything. I just felt like you were being ungrateful.
Tia, I want to know, do you feel like you were belittling her in that moment?
Then, no. Now, talking like being an adult, yeah, I can see that. You know,
so don't tell me that.
Tell
her.
Someone would feel belittled, you know, like.
Very. Very belittled.
I don't really.
And then now, after all these years.
I didn't intentionally mean for it to come out as maybe belittling. Maybe I was just fitting and it all just came out. And once it was said, it was said.
But why couldn't you just come to me? And why wait till we get all the way out of town?
So I'm gonna ask you, Dijonane, why did you stop speaking to Tia? Why did you? Because I know that after you were done, she left first. Why didn't you call and reach out, especially since you threw the first punch?
Because at that point, there wasn't nothing to say. I honestly was trying to get home, so I wasn't worried about calling her.
Got it. Tia, I know you have something that you want to say to Dijonane. Go ahead.
Dijonane, I apologize for leaving you stranded. I apologize for making you feel abandoned. Life is too short. And those 4 years that we haven't spoke, I've lost my mom, and I know you've lost your mom. You know?
And my father.
Like, well, I'm sorry about your dad.
And you didn't reach out to me at all.
And I apologize.
And I was up there by myself.
And anything in that moment, I learned from losing my mom that life is too short. And I miss our friendship. I miss having my friend to be able to call and talk to.
Like my oldest son's birthday is 3 days after yours.
Yeah, like you got kids that I never got to meet. Like
you never met none of my kids.
I just want to be a part of that. I miss feeling like I had family. And
Dijonane, do you believe this apology? Can you receive this apology?
Because
one of the things that you said was that you felt belittled. And I stopped her right in the moment and said, can you acknowledge what she felt? And she did. She acknowledged and apologized for belittling you. She's also saying she's sorry that she wasn't there. How do you feel? Talk to her.
I feel like, do you really feel like you apologize? Because like after all of these years, you know, I don't understand why you're reaching out to me now. You still know my family members. You know what I mean? Why didn't you reach out in 2019 when my mom passed away? Like, why now? You know, and everybody got an ulterior motive. And since then, it's hard for me to accept any type of friendship because of what we went through that night.
Is there an ulterior motive?
No, I just, like I said, losing my mom just really showed me, it just shows you when you lose a parent like your mother, it shows you who's really there because they want to be there, and who really don't care and they're just there just because that's what they're supposed to do.
So what you just said is the reason why she's hesitant?
Yes.
Because she says, when I lost somebody, you see who's going to be there and who's not.
Yeah, I get that. I get that because I went through that. So yes. I totally understand that.
And see, the thing is, I think we all forget that pride is a dirty, dirty thing. Ooh,
it
pride will keep you from acknowledging and apologizing and moving on because you get so stuck in a behavior of like, you know what? Time has passed on. I ain't going to say nothing. You be the first. You be the first.
Yeah.
But what she did is she let her pride down today. And she reached out. And I think she knew that the Karamo show was a safe enough space where y'all could actually talk it out so y'all could figure this out. And so I feel that hopefully, y'all can clap for that because I'm glad she's here. Because I want y'all to know that it's okay for you to put down your pride too. It's okay. It's okay for you to acknowledge that, yes, y'all both did something wrong. She was wrong for telling your business, and you was wrong for punching her face.
I was.
Can
I
you?
was very wrong.
So good. That's what I
and-
want to get to her. So can you apologize to her and say, you know what? I'm sorry for punching your face. Maybe I could. I know I was hot, but maybe I could have came down there and talked to you first.
Honestly, do apologize for punching you in your face. I never, ever thought that I would have to hurt you in any type of way, because you're my sister, not just my best friend. So that I apologize for.
I accept your apology.
Good job. Listen. What is happening right now is y'all are on the road to forgiveness and change.
Can I give her a hug?
Of course you can give her a hug. You know, we love a hug on this show. I'm happy for y'all. Y'all gonna be all right. All right, everyone. Thank you for being with us. Come back next time, friends, so we can keep talking and growing. I love you all.